Linus, you're doing the circuit this week. You're going back and visiting a lot of old homes.
Yeah, it's been a weird one in the sense of I don't think I've ever been this much on and off during my whole career. It's a weird schedule, I would say, and but you get a little bit more motivation, obviously, when you get to go play for against teams that you played for before.
What was it about the city of Boston that you really that you enjoyed? Obviously, you enjoyed your time there. Was there anything in particular, different things you got to do in Boston? The people.
It's a broad question. It's a big question. I would say genuinely the community and the people was one factor, and then organization on its own, but also as soon as we got there, we saw it was like just a lively city. People were out and about, moving, playing. I was out walking my dog the first night there, and people playing soccer at 10 p.m. in the night. So you can tell that people felt safe in the environment that they were, and which made it feel at home pretty quickly as well. And for me as well, when I look at the city on its own, it reminds me a little bit about Gothenburg in Sweden as well, but just on a bigger scale.
Is there excitement? What's, I guess, the feeling of going back into Boston for tomorrow for you?
Same process in my mind, at least. It's just another team on the road. It's not a game, and a lot of people like to put different adjectives, or so to speak, in trying to get me riled up or get me to think about certain things. But it's a part of the business. Yeah. My focus is on here today. That we had a really good practice today, and then we're gonna go and try to get 2 points in Boston tomorrow, and then onwards to the next one, and it just keeps repeating and repeating on and off.
Apologies, I know the team obviously wants wins, but is there anything added for you? It just doesn't seem like a simple game to go back into.
It's never easy playing in Boston. There have been a good team for so many years, so you got to bring your A game, which is also fun. It's exciting, and for me at least, that's where I want to thrive. It's this sort of situations where I feel that I'm getting more out of the actual game in itself, and something you can really feel that it's all about wins and losses in the end. But for us as a group as well, it's about sticking to the process, thinking about down the road. We can't just get caught up in just looking at the scoreboard at all times every game. It's all about getting better each and every day. Try to build something that will last, and not something that will crumble as soon as you hit the tougher days.
Do you have any dinner plans with former teammates?
Nope, none. So we have some other plans as a team when we get there, and then for me at least, that's something that people, like I said, you guys are going to have these questions about who's paying for what, are you going to meet up with him or that, but for me at least, it's when you get to move to a different team or a new team, you try to dissociate as much as possible towards your old team, because it's not important. What's important is the 20 guys, 22 guys in this locker room, and that's where I want to pay my attention.
How long did it maybe take you to disassociate from Buffalo when you came to Boston? And maybe how are you trying to learn from that with Ottawa now?
It was pretty quick, because you when you get roped into things there, it's all about getting in line, and then otherwise you're gonna get left behind. So in that matter, it was pretty simple, but also there was a different type of expectations and demands. So for me, at least, I had to focus on myself. I couldn't worry about what was going on in a different place, and the same thing goes on here. Caught up a little bit about thinking about how to. What's my role in the team, what I suppose my responsibilities, what I should do, but instead of just focus on me, myself a little bit more, take care of my own house, so to speak, which had a couple of good conversations with a couple of teammates in the team, coaches, psychiatrists, stuff like that, that I feel that, okay, we got things under control now, and then now it's the same as, working out in the gym. You got to work on your mental health, and you work on your mental strengths as well.
Where do you feel your hands at?
Oh, that's a good thing. A good question. Because I do not know. I don't know if it's in a good place or in a bad place. All I know is that for me, it's going to be exciting to go in there tomorrow and battle my heart out and try to make the most out of it, enjoy it, try to soak it all in, because at the end of the day, sun will rise tomorrow. It's going to be a new hockey game, and the game's going to be played in Boston, and I'm happy about that.
We're talking about places where you've played in the past. Talk about Ottawa. What's been your favorite part of Ottawa so far?
Sense of home, and for me as a Nordic Swede as well, it's very similar to the way of life that I've born and raised up into. And so things have been sort of like the transition have been easier in that matter when it comes to the daily life off the ice. And that's something that you should never take for granted, and I'm very thankful for, and have a lot of help and a lot of supportive people and open people in the community and our street and the neighborhood and whatever. And so those are the things that I try not to take for granted, because I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I am in right now.
Most importantly, the kids enjoying it.
Oh yeah, they are.
What's the secret of the success of the Bruins for such a long time being good?
There is no secret. It's sort of things that I think every team around the league wants to do, is that you try to strive for becoming better every single day. There's high demands, but there's also a lot of honesty, and the expectations out of each other is very high, together with the foundations that they've built throughout so many years with the leadership group that they've had, but starting off with Shara and then going on to Patrice and now Marchand. It's something that once you've been a part of it, that you're like, okay, this is the standard, and that's something that you strive to have as a team. And so I think as a new player coming into that team, it's a lot easier in the sense of that, like I said, it's all about getting in line and then figure out what you need to be doing right away, because otherwise you're going to be left in the dust, and then you're going to be move on to a different team or so. But if you're doing the right things every day and you put your foot in front of the other, you come in with a smile, you're going to get rewarded. And that's comes down to hard work, winning the day mentality, and all these cliches that you hear people talk about around the league. But it started off a long time ago, and I wasn't there at that point, but you probably would have to ask the guys that were part of that locker room at that point how it's been so successful for so many years now.
Yeah, he's just got a bit of a shiner today.
Good to go tomorrow.
Yeah, he should be good.
And is there a chance Shane Pinto could be in the lineup tomorrow, perhaps?
Yep, there's a chance.
Okay.
Is that a strong chance?
There's a chance.
What do you think has maybe been the cause for this team to be unable to maybe string some wins together?
Well, consistency. Yeah, playing consistent. They've shown that they can, when they play hard and they compete and they work, they can win. And if you don't do that for 60 minutes, then you don't usually win in the league.
I guess with that, you've played Ullmark and Forsberg kind of back-to-back or kind of in unison. I guess what's your philosophy and how you want to deploy your goaltenders moving forward?
Well, I think you can have any kind of philosophy you want. The goalies ultimately tell you who's playing. Linus is our starter. Forsey's our backup. They know that. Forsey's also had 2 shutouts in 3 games, played pretty well. Linus is still finding his game. I think it's coming. I liked what I've seen in practice. It's as simple as that.
Boston Bruins tomorrow, Toronto after that, 2 conference rivals. What's the challenge of playing the Bruins?
Well, not worried about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Worried about Boston tomorrow. Team that's, good team. Been a good team for a long time. It's be a good challenge for us going into their building. I think it's the right time for that type of challenge. We're going to have to be ready to play.
You had a lot of compete drills today.
Yep.
All that, and you just made the comment, when we compete, we're really good. Is that what you're seeing? Perhaps there needs to be a lot more of in your team the last couple of games.
At times, yeah. I mean, we want to be a competitive team. We haven't had a lot of time to practice with a lot of compete in our practice, but today was another good time to do that.
In the past, you've kind of talked about rewarding players for playing well. I'm curious with Jacob Bernard-Docker, obviously you didn't let him play last game. What kind of went into that decision?
Talked about it yesterday. It's never an easy decision when you're putting guys in and out of the lineup. Yeah, we went back and forth on a lot of different things, and we settled on Hammer. I'm sure Docs will get back in. Nothing more, nothing less.